Hi, my name is James King and I'm part of the SEO team here at Click Intelligence. And in this video we are going to look at Google Analytics 4. We'll cover both versions of Analytics and I'll do a side-by-side comparison so you can see what it looks like for GA4 versus GA3. So in front of me I've got Universal Analytics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up in a new tab the merchandise store, which is a demo account from Google. And what we'll do is we'll also include the website link as well, so you can access the demo account also. So side by side, we both have access to the homepage and they look relatively similar at the moment for the homepage, but these will change dramatically as we go through. So for Universal, we have this section here, we've got the users, revenue, conversions. This is pretty much the same from this perspective. On GA4, it's mainly pulling through elements of machine learning. So Google is pulling through information that it deems to be relevant to you and your business and your organization, of information that you would seem to be important for your website traffic. So we can see we have website traffic here by location and country. We have sessions based by search and sessions, organic search, email to source. And then in Google Analytics 4, we refer to screen class as the screens that we have across devices such as Android device, Apple device, and also web pages. And also Google's machine learning is also pulling through useful insights and recommendations. So over the past couple of weeks, they've seen users have spiked, in particular around about the 7th of December. So with this new version of automated information, Google's pulling out useful bits and pieces that may help you to decide, okay, we've seen a spike in traffic, we can see that we need to look into that and we want to find out why. So that's the type of insights that you'll get from here as well. So that's really useful for a top level analysis. Also at the top here, let's look at the search feature. So we can pretty much see, I've just clicked on the search feature. And analytics, machine learning, has also got analytical intelligence. So you could ask it relevant questions that will help you to find the answers that you need in the initial stages and throughout your user experience of GA4. And that can help you answer a lot of questions over time also. So let's have a look through some of the other sections that we have here as well. So if we go on the reports section, and you'll notice that we have a real-time section as well. In the left-hand screen, we've got Universal Analytics, where we can see the top pages, and you see the data for the last 5 minutes. Now, in Google Analytics 4, we can actually capture data for the last 30 minutes, which is really useful. And then we can see users by first user source. So what Google Analytics 4 offers is more of the user's journey. It's powerful from a marketer's perspective, so you can actually plot out where people are going and see where users are going. So if you wanted to find out more information about where a user is going in terms of a shopping cart, it gives you that type of power as well. So with this section here, it pretty much tells us the first instance where people are looking into the website. And we have the page views by page title and screen name. So this will also include if you've got a device or an app such as Android or iOS. Now it's also important to distinguish that Google Analytics 4 tracks everything via events. Previously, in older editions of Universal Analytics, it was tracking page views, page sessions, events. What it's done now in Google Analytics 4 is tracking everything under events, and it just makes it more uniformed process and a bit more future-proof moving forwards with this technology in terms of what it can track. Okay, so let's look at the life cycle within Google Analytics 4 as well. So this is essentially the acquisition that's in Google Analytics 4. When we look at it like for like, we can see that on Google Analytics 4, the users is highlighted for the last 30 minutes. And we can see sessions by default group, which is essentially the channels that are going through on the website as well. We can also see Google Ads and lifetime value of a customer. So it gives you insightful information that Google thinks is relevant for your business on the acquisition overview. Now the user acquisition is the first instance that a user has actually visited your website. So for the last 28 days, we can see there's been a tremendous spike here around about the 7th. And this is all the information of new users entering the website. So we can see the different channels here, such as direct, organic, page, display, etc. Now, if you've used in Google Analytics before secondary elements, such as if you want further information, you can do that by clicking on the plus arrow here, and it will give you more information as well. So for instance, I might want to see which city has the most traffic for direct traffic. So if I've done a campaign in New York, I'd want to see if that's actually worked. So I could use that as a city, for example. Traffic acquisition provides the information for all users that have been through the website at all levels of the user journey, whether they've been new users or returning users, and this is where you get all the information from. And again, if you want to look at more data or add secondary dimensions, you can click on a number of features such as time, platform, geography, user, lifetime user, first visit date, etc. So in Google Analytics 4, the engagement is pretty much how long someone spent on a site, engaged sessions per user, average engagement time per session. We can also see the number of views. Google Analytics 4 does track a lot in terms of events. So like this event count will be different things that people have clicked on, such as a session, a page view, a scroll. So anything that's tracked in Google Analytics will be classed as an event count. We'll have a quick look at event name. So these are pretty much all the events that are included on the website at the moment. So by default, Google Analytics 4 will include a number of new events, such as scrolling. So let's say if somebody scrolls on a mobile device on your website and they scroll past 90%, that'd be classed as a scroll. There's downloadable content as well. So if you've got a PDF document or Word document, we have to click on and download. Google Analytics will track that as a download event. Conversions is similar to goals in Google Analytics Universal. So for instance, if you were tracking a download of a guide, or you wanted to track somebody landing on a particular page or completion of contact form, you can set up conversions, and these are all triggered by events. So pages and screens is essentially pages like title tags on the website. So these are how they'll be highlighted here. And then a screen class is referenced to any screen that is on your website. If you have an app, that's what it'd be classed as, because Google Analytics 4 now offers cross-platform tracking from mobile to devices in terms of web apps and your website. So it mainly tracks your website, regardless if it's on a mobile device or a desktop. And then if you have your own app, it will track that as well. Monetization is essentially Google's way of changing from e-commerce. So e-commerce is what's in Universal, and in GA4, monetization is what we have now. So this is an overview of the website in terms of the revenue for the past 4 weeks. So total revenue is 309k, and then we can see the average purchase revenue per user, which is really useful. And then you can see the most popular purchases based on this section here as well. E-commerce purchases, so you can have this broken down as well. If you wanted to add different secondary dimensions, you can have that as well. So if you wanted to add, say, a different page, to find out what the URL is for that page location, Google will pull that through, and then you've got the full URL of that as well. Okay, so retention is how long somebody stays on the website in terms of returning visits, and this will give you an overview. Okay, so demographics. So this may look familiar in Google Universal as well. So we've got under audience, we've got demographics, interests, geo, behavior, technology. So what's actually happened in Google Analytics 4 is that Google has been very smart and combined all that information together under a particular section. So with the overview, we can see city, users in the last 30 minutes, users by country, gender, interests, age, language as well. And then if we scroll further down or click further down into demographic details, we have a table of where most of the demographics are coming from in terms of country and users as well, and conversions and revenue. Again, if you want to add more secondary dimensions to this and have more granular data, if you click on the plus sign, you'll be able to have that as well. Tech overview is pretty much how people visit the website in terms of the way they get to the website. So on this instance here, the Google Merchandise Store is just a website. Now, if it had an app, we would see application data in here as well from Android and also from iOS. But as it's a website, it's purely a website, and that's the data that's been pulled through. So we can see the users by operating system. So Android devices is pretty much at the top, and then most of it is through web users, 50,000 on a desktop. And then we can see users by screen resolution. So this also includes mobile devices as well. As you can see, that we've got some at 412 by 892. And then the majority of traffic is also highlighted by web browsers. So Chrome is one of the most popular. And then we've got Safari, so that's most likely iPhone users. And then you can see users by device category. So over the last 10 years, there's been more of a shift between desktop and mobile. So that gap between mobile and desktop is getting narrower, as we can see in this instance on this demo site, that 43% of traffic is coming from mobile. So tech details. So this just shows information about the browser at the moment, and you can filter additional information through here as well. We can see, just looking at this data here, that Chrome users are the most popular, and equally they generate the most revenue as well. So that gives you an overview of the life cycle section of the website. So there are some similarities in terms of what you'd see in Universal Analytics, and then in GA4 we can see that it's been enhanced and it's been improved as well. So if we look at next the Explore section, so there's a number of templates that we have here and custom reports that we can do. And now with GA4, this enhanced information in terms of funnel, reports, path exploration. So you can actually look real granularly at where people are going from different traffic sources and so where they're dropping off. This information is brilliant for marketers that want to focus on and see where people are going on particular pages. But we'll just have a quick look at this. We'll just skim through it because, again, there's a lot of information here. If we have a look at path exploration, because this is one that's very similar to what's in Google Analytics Universal at the moment. So let's start over and create a starting point. So the starting point for this one would be the home page. So what you can do is you can create a start or an end point to see where people go on the website. So let's create the start point. And then what we can do is we'll click on the home page. You can see this is where people are going to different pages on the website. So then if I click here, expand a bit more, you can see there's more options, and equally you can expand on more steps as well. Again, we'll look at this in more detail in a different video. It just gives you a flavour of the power of GA4. Okay, advertising. So it gives you a snapshot of which channels drive the most conversions. Now, if you're a business owner or on the board of directors, you want to know which channels and which campaigns are generating the most conversions, revenue and sales. So this is a really powerful piece of kit here that Google's put together. So you see the top level information here. Again, this will evolve over time. And then we can look at conversion paths and touch points on the website. So with the advertising section, you can actually see the channels that they use. So they may enter the website on a Google ad, and then they may return to the website by clicking via organic search. And this information shows you how people find the website, and equally how people interact with the website and how many different times it takes for somebody to come to the website to make that sale or that conversion. And people will come to the website multiple times before making a purchase, but they will come through different avenues as well. So there's always different ways to get to the website through different channels, and this is powerful for marketers that want to see which campaigns are working the best. So they may be doing an awareness campaign, maybe through display advertising, or they might do an offline activity, and then they may return to the website through organic search. So this is a useful piece of kit to see for marketers how people are accessing the website. GA4 is not as intimidating as what it looks like. I mean, it's just a case of having to play around with it, figuring out where things are. There'll be more information available in the coming weeks and months as more Google Analytics information develops, and of course when that deadline for end of life happens, which will be 1st of July 2023. So I hope that helps. What we'll do is we'll continue to roll out more videos in the coming weeks and months, and I hope that gives you a flavour of what you'd expect to see in GA4. Thanks for watching.